Welcome back to my channel. Today we will explore one of the most emotionally charged and deeply tragic storylines currently unfolding on CBS's long-running drama series, The Bold and the Beautiful. At the heart of this poignant narrative is Daphne, whose life, love, and unexpected legacy are destined to profoundly affect those around her, leaving lasting repercussions for the Forrester family, especially patriarch Eric Forrester. Daphne, having recently faced the crushing rejection of her romantic feelings by Carter Walton, finds herself deeply wounded and emotionally drained. Carter, whose heart remains steadfastly devoted to Hope Logan, firmly but gently made it clear that his affections would never sway toward Daphne. This painful clarity leaves Daphne with an overwhelming sense of sadness and heartbreak, forcing her to confront the stark reality that the love she so desperately sought is unattainable. Unable to bear the constant reminder of her heartbreak, Daphne decides to seek solace in distance, choosing to return to Paris to rebuild her professional career and emotional stability. Paris had always been a city of healing for her, offering an escape from her emotional turmoil, and she desperately hopes this return will provide her with the fresh start she so urgently needs. The decision to leave Los Angeles, however necessary, proves incredibly difficult for Daphne. The city holds too many memories, both joyful and painful, and saying goodbye to the people and places that had shaped her recent years is emotionally taxing. Nevertheless, Daphne musters the strength to board the plane bound for Paris, determined to find closure and a new chapter of happiness, free from unrequited love and heartache. Yet, as Daphne settles into her seat on the airplane, the emotional weight of her departure becomes even more tangible. Alone with her thoughts, her mind drifts inevitably back to Carter, the man she truly loved despite knowing he could never reciprocate her feelings. Daphne closes her eyes and vividly recalls tender moments spent with Carter, replaying each conversation, each stolen glance, and every shared laugh. These memories, rather than comforting her, only deepen her anguish, highlighting painfully the profound emptiness left behind by his rejection. Daphne's heart aches as she confronts the reality of her unrequited love, battling internally with a torrent of regret, longing, and sadness. Yet, despite the pain, Daphne finds herself unable to erase Carter from her heart, silently acknowledging that he will always hold a special, irreplaceable place in her life. Tragically, Daphne's inner turmoil and emotional reflections are abruptly and violently interrupted. Without warning, a massive explosion rocks the aircraft mid-flight, shattering the calmness and plunging the passengers and crew into chaos and terror. The plane, engulfed rapidly by fire and smoke, tragically crashes, claiming the lives of everyone aboard, including Daphne. The horrific news quickly spreads, casting an immediate pall over those who knew and cared deeply for her. Steffi, Ridge, and Eric Forrester, upon hearing the devastating news, are shocked and overwhelmed by the sheer magnitude of the loss. Daphne, a dedicated and talented member of Forrester Creations, had been admired and cherished by those around her, making her sudden death all the more painful. Her loss sends ripples of grief and mourning throughout the company, profoundly impacting her colleagues and friends who struggled to reconcile the vivacious young woman they knew with her tragic end. In the aftermath, Steffi and Ridge reflect solemnly on the unpredictability of life, mourning the vibrant soul extinguished too soon. Yet, it is Eric Forrester who finds himself plunged deeper into emotional turmoil, grappling with a painful secret hidden within Daphne's possessions at the company. While sorting through Daphne's belongings at Forrester Creations, Eric stumbles upon a forgotten file folder she had accidentally left behind in her office before departing for Paris. Initially curious, Eric casually glances through the contents of the file, but soon finds himself utterly transfixed by a photograph tucked within the paperwork, a faded image capturing a smiling Daphne as a child, standing happily beside her mother. As Eric gazes at the photograph, something stirs deep within him. He recognizes the woman standing alongside young Daphne, and a nagging sense of familiarity prompts him to examine Daphne's personal details listed in her employment records. As Eric calculates the timeline, connecting the dots between Daphne's age and the photograph of her mother, he is seized by a chilling realization. A shocking truth dawns upon him, one that threatens to unravel the foundations of his emotional stability and the legacy he had spent a lifetime building. Daphne, tragically deceased, was his biological daughter, a daughter he had never known existed until this heartbreaking moment. This revelation hits Eric with overwhelming force, plunging him into a whirlwind of confusion, regret, and profound sadness. His heart aches bitterly, haunted by the knowledge that he had unknowingly neglected his child. Desperate for answers, Eric immediately seeks out Daphne's mother, intent on confirming this devastating discovery and uncovering the hidden truth that had remained secret for decades. When confronted by Eric, Daphne's mother solemnly confirms the painful truth. She recalls vividly a fleeting encounter she had many years earlier, a night shared briefly and impulsively with Eric, neither of them aware of the lasting consequences of their actions. Daphne's mother, having no way of contacting or identifying Eric afterward, had chosen to raise Daphne on her own, keeping her daughter's paternal lineage a secret, hoping to spare Daphne unnecessary pain and complexity. Her voice trembles with regret as she expresses her sorrow for never attempting to reconnect, recognizing that Eric deserved to know his child. Eric listens silently, tears streaming down his face, devastated by the magnitude of what has been irrevocably lost, an entire lifetime spent apart from a daughter he never knew he had. The days following this discovery are somber, filled with unbearable grief and regret. Eric is consumed by an overwhelming sense of loss. Not only mourning Daphne's death but also lamenting the precious moments he will never experience, the relationship forever denied him. He confronts his own actions and choices, understanding painfully that his youthful indiscretion, long forgotten, now weighs heavily upon his soul. Daphne's funeral is held in a profound atmosphere of sorrow and loss, attended by family, friends, and colleagues deeply affected by her untimely passing. Eric, now acutely aware of his paternal connection, stands at her graveside, broken and visibly shaken, mourning openly for the daughter he never had the chance to know or nurture. He struggles desperately to find closure, burdened by guilt and remorse that no amount of time or repentance can fully erase. The Forrester family, united in mourning Daphne, gathers around Eric, offering him support and comfort in his darkest hour. Ridge and Steffi, understanding the profound depth of Eric's loss, quietly express solidarity and compassion, sharing in his grief and standing by his side. Daphne's life, though tragically cut short, leaves an enduring legacy that will forever shape the lives of those she left behind, especially her newfound father, Eric Forrester. In the wake of Daphne's tragic death, Carter, too, reflects deeply on their past interactions, haunted by thoughts of how his rejection might have indirectly set her tragic path into motion. Although blameless, Carter feels an overwhelming sense of sorrow, deeply aware of Daphne's feelings toward him and saddened by the finality of her tragic fate. Daphne's memory will linger within the walls of Forrester Creations, a poignant reminder of how quickly life can change, how deeply our choices can affect others, and how secrets hidden in the shadows often surface in devastatingly unexpected ways. Next, we will explore the electrifying buzz surrounding the much-anticipated return of a beloved character to the bold and the beautiful. Fans have been on the edge of their seats counting down to the iconic reappearance of Jack Wagner as Nick Marone, a figure whose periodic comebacks have always sparked drama in Los Angeles. This time, spoilers hint at an extended stay packed with a tantalizing storyline that promises to shake up romantic dynamics. With new details, creative twists, and enriched narratives added to every segment, we're diving deep into Nick's past connections, the potential for reignited passions, and the chaos his return could unleash among Brooke Logan, Taylor Hayes, and Ridge Forrester. Buckle up for a thrilling ride as we unpack what's in store for Friday, June 13, 2025. Nick Marone's triumphant return, a long-awaited comeback. The streets of Los Angeles are about to heat up with the return of Nick Marone, portrayed by the charismatic Jack Wagner, a fan favorite whose sporadic appearances on The Bold and the Beautiful have always left viewers craving more. According to the latest B&B spoilers, this isn't just a fleeting visit. Nick is set to stick around for a significant arc, entangled in a storyline dripping with intrigue and emotional stakes. News broke last month that Wagner had been spotted filming fresh scenes, marking the first time we've seen Nick on the CBS soap since 2022. His presence has historically been a catalyst for unforgettable drama, often centered around his complex romantic history. As whispers of his return spread like wildfire among the fandom, anticipation builds for how his character will weave into the current tapestry of relationships and rivalries that define the show. To elevate the excitement, let's imagine a new twist. What if Nick arrives with a mysterious business venture tied to Forrester Creations, perhaps a rival fashion line he's been developing in secret during his time away? This could position him not just as a romantic wildcard but as a professional threat, stirring tension in boardrooms as much as bedrooms. His comeback, scheduled for June 13, 2025, isn't merely a nostalgic nod, it's poised to be a game-changer. Jack Wagner himself shared his enthusiasm in a recent interview, reflecting on the nostalgic drive to the studio and the joy of seeing familiar faces and memorabilia adorning the walls. Reuniting with the crew felt like coming home, he revealed, hinting at the warmth and energy he's bringing back to the set. The stage is set for Nick Marone to make a lasting impact, and fans are buzzing with speculation about the waves he'll create. Romantic rivalries rekindled, Brooke Logan in the spotlight. Nick Marone's history with Brooke Logan is a chapter of passion and heartbreak that longtime viewers hold dear, and his return could very well reopen old wounds or reignite dormant flames. Currently, Brooke finds herself unattached, her heart bruised after being cast aside by Ridge Forrester during the dramatic Forrester Creations takeover. Ridge's reunion with Taylor Hayes, the other woman who has long vied for his affections, left Brooke navigating the single life with a mix of resilience and longing. B&B spoilers tease that Nick's re-entry into her world will unleash a storm of romantic chaos across Los Angeles, with potential for a rekindled romance that could mend her wounded spirit. Their past was marked by intense chemistry, and the idea of them rediscovering that spark is a tantalizing prospect for many fans who remember their electric connection. Adding depth to this storyline, let's introduce a new element. Suppose Brooke has been secretly keeping a journal of letters she never sent to Nick after their breakup, filled with unresolved feelings and dreams of what might have been. As Nick steps back into her orbit, perhaps a chance encounter at a Forrester charity gala, where Brooke is modeling a stunning new design from her Brooke's bedroom line, could lead to a moment where she contemplates revealing this hidden piece of her heart. Will the familiarity of their shared history pull them back together, or has too much time and pain built an insurmountable wall? The uncertainty of whether Nick will gravitate toward Brooke adds a delicious layer of suspense to his return, making every glance and word between them a potential turning point in her journey toward love. A tangled triangle, Taylor Hayes and the pull of the past. While Brooke holds a significant piece of Nick Marone's romantic past, she's not the only ex who could complicate his return. Taylor Hayes, another pivotal figure in Nick's life, also shares a storied history with him, marked by deep attraction and turbulent emotions. Currently, Taylor is basking in the glow of her reconciliation with Ridge Forrester, a reunion that seemed to solidify her place as the core of his heart. Yet, as any devoted fan of The Bold and the Beautiful knows, nothing is ever set in stone in the world of soap operas. B&B spoilers suggest that Nick's presence could cast a shadow over Taylor and Ridge's renewed bond, tempting Taylor with echoes of a past romance that once burned brightly. Could Nick's charm and shared memories sway Taylor's affections, or will her commitment to Ridge remain unshakable? To enrich this dynamic, let's imagine a fresh twist. What if Nick returns with a rare, vintage piece of jewelry, a necklace he and Taylor once admired together during a memorable trip, that he's held on to as a memento of their time? Presenting it to her during an unexpected meeting at a quiet seaside cafe could stir long-buried emotions, challenging her resolve to stay loyal to Ridge. This gesture might remind Taylor of a freer, more passionate version of herself, contrasting with the stability she's found with Ridge. The potential for Nick to disrupt this couple introduces a thrilling undercurrent of what if, as viewers ponder whether Taylor's heart might waver under the weight of nostalgia. The romantic battlefield in Los Angeles is about to get messy, with Taylor caught between a secure present and a seductive past. The countdown to chaos, what lies ahead for Nick Marone? As the clock ticks closer to June 13, 2025, the excitement surrounding Jack Wagner's return as Nick Marone reaches a fever pitch. His extended stay promises more than just a walk down memory lane, it's a catalyst for upheaval, particularly in the romantic entanglements of Brooke Logan and Taylor Hayes. Will Nick reignite an old flame with Brooke, offering her the solace she craves after Ridge's betrayal, or will he turn his attention to Taylor, testing the strength of her bond with Ridge? The possibilities are endless, and the stakes couldn't be higher in a town where love and rivalry are forever intertwined. Wagner's own reflections on returning to the set, filled with nostalgia and joy at reconnecting with the B&B family, only heighten the anticipation for how Nick's storyline will unfold with fresh vigor and unexpected turns. Let's add a final intriguing element. What if Nick's return coincides with a major Forrester Creations event, like the launch of a groundbreaking fashion collection, where both Brooke and Taylor are key figures? His presence at this high-profile gathering could force a public confrontation of past feelings, with lingering glances and pointed remarks hinting at unresolved tensions. This setting would amplify the drama, placing Nick at the center of a storm as both women, and Ridge, navigate the turbulence his arrival stirs. So, dear viewers, are you as thrilled as we are for Nick Marone's comeback on The Bold and the Beautiful? Do you foresee a reunion with Brooke, a disruption for Taylor and Ridge, or an entirely new path for this enigmatic character? Stay tuned with us at B&B Spoilers channel for all the latest updates and insights as this juicy storyline unfolds.